Good evening. I hope that you're well. As per the title, this reading is entirely inspired by the weary heart. My heart has been feeling particularly weary this day. I feel extremely despondent, a little bit hopeless. And while these are feelings that I feel familiar with, I do feel them in cycles. I am one of those people that suffer from depression. There is something a lot more hopeful about this wave of shadow and darkness that I'm processing. I feel the most hopeful, in fact, that I've ever felt. And each time these waves have come, especially this year, they've come better, more handleable. Like I can see straight through it. I can remember the bigger picture, as I put in the title. It's not that difficult to grasp. I mean, like I say, it gets easier, but it's still hard. And that's why I feel inspired and strong enough to be able to offer something of a word this evening. I've posted about this before. I've tried to make light of it by making it funny, making it something teehee. But ultimately, it's never funny. And I'm only laughing because I guess, I don't know. It's never funny though, right? It's grief is, and the shadow of this world and of life is very, very heavy. Dealing with the collapse of these systems that this world has been so used to operating in for generations and generations, you'd think it'd be something to celebrate, right? You'd think that it would feel like a victory. But it seems like this great devil really hates going down without a fight. And I found that every time I felt these waves of grief and darkness, it's like it comes with some blood sacrifice. I always feel it alongside some horrible, heinous action done upon the people of Palestine, possibly people of Sudan, people in Africa, really, and people of oppressed indigenous communities. There's always some news about how hundreds or thousands of them have been killed. And every time I see the news, it's like, right, so I'm grieving again, more grief. And it's been very difficult, honestly, to face and remember how much blood this system has needed to survive, and how many people are dedicated to keeping the system alive without even noticing it. We unfortunately, the whole lot of us, we have no idea how much we're sacrificing, how much of our awareness and our attention and our intention we're sacrificing to the system to keep it alive. I just want to put out there that when you desire these luxury items and when you worship Western supremacy, you're worshiping the system, this blood hungry system. And it's difficult to come to terms with, difficult to face, because we all want to be good, righteous people. But we have to face the bottom line of what it will take in order for us to be righteous and to live it and to action it out in our daily lives. And I strongly believe that those who are sincerely intended on righteousness, those are the ones with weary hearts. It's those of us who feel unexplainably depressed, randomly depressed, deep waves of grief that we can't pinpoint. They just wash over us. And a lot of the time we are processing the grief and sadness of Earth, of the world, of life cycles, of all the children, right? The children. It honestly feels unreal. My brain genuinely struggles to grasp it. And I try to push forth and follow the narrative of try not to focus on what you don't want, try to focus on the good and blah, blah, blah. But it's very difficult to do that when it is that you feel these random waves of grief. And then you see the news and then you know. I was watching Dr. David Clements and Pam Gregory's conversation today, finishing it off, and Dr. David Clements explained that part of the difficulty in what we're facing right now is in the fact that we are pulling away. I actually mentioned this a few readings ago. The old, trying to pull our attention from the old, trying to unlatch our attention from the old and focus on the new. That unlatching is very difficult. The tentacles are rooted deep. Like I said, this is a system that we are used to on generation upon generational level. This isn't just something we're looking at for the first time, and we're not the only collective generation to have tried to fight against this. It's just very special, as I mentioned before, being alive today, because we are alive at a time when the collective of people who are trying to break away from it are the biggest they've ever been. There are so many of us who are awakening and grieving together right now. And it's that in itself is it gives me a lot of hope. And it's very touching. And if you have tuned into this, even if it is that you can even if it is that you can find the root of your weariness, and if you've resonated with what I've spoken on so far, then thank you. And I'm very, very, very grateful to be alive with you. And you are my kin. We're very much in this together, all of us. And I offer this, being here this evening, in the name of our togetherness, and with the hope that you continue on and you don't give up. Please don't give up. Please don't lose hope. I'm finding specifically that people of my generation, millennials, and the generation before, I've forgotten what they're called, but people born between 1990 and 1996-ish, we are suffering a lot, very particularly with suicidal ideations. And yeah, this is for you. Very in particular, this is for you. Please don't give up. Please don't give up. We're sifting through the root of shame and victimization. And the painful part about needing to sift that through is that we need to face it. We can't go around it. Can't go over it. Gotta go through it. We have to go through it, and we have to face it, and we have to rip ourselves to shreds and cry and melt. We have to fall apart, and we have to let it humble us and we have to let it humble us and allow it to bring us to our knees over and over again. You will stand up. We will stand up tall again. But before that, we have to allow the process. We have to let it bring us to our knees. And we have to be on our knees. It's not that bad to be on your knees. It's painful. It's very painful and very fresh. And it's the worst when you're feeling this kind of pain. And this is something very particular. It's the worst when you're feeling this kind of weariness and pain and you look around and it seems like everyone else is doing a lot better than you. It's confusing. It's so off-putting. It's like there has to be something wrong with me. If I can look around in the world and I see everybody else managing and everyone else is fine, there has to be something wrong with me, clearly. All the more reason to leave, right? All the more reason to die then. Incorrect. All the more reason to push through. All the more reason. It's like it's a consistent game of opposites with this thing. It's opposite day every day with us. And we're really fighting contrasts and dualities, and we have a very special fight. It's a very special mission. But it is a beautiful fight. And again, I offer this reading in the name of that, in the name of the fact that it is a beautiful fight and we have it in us and we're bigger than all of it. We're bigger than the weariness. I do have cards here. I'm still not clear on why I would be shuffling them. Because like I've said, and like I've tried to explain with this, is this is a game. This is a long game, and it's a very long game. It's not just long for our lives. It's long for the existence of the system, for the existence of the planet itself, for the existence of humanity as we see it and as we understand it, right? So, because of the amount of energy that is present in the collapse of the system, in its creation, in how it's been ongoing, that in itself, that belief of and the understanding of the energy, and by the way, as well, I'm saying belief, it doesn't even mean, it doesn't matter whether or not you believe it. It's a science, it's a fact that what we are seeing has accumulated energy, potential, unseen, felt by the whole lot of us, that has a life of its own, that we are all playing our part in killing, that we need to allow, we need to let it happen. And you play your part simply by being, which is why I keep trying to emphasize and say, ever since my first round of experiencing suicide grief, doing that is not, I understand why, I really do, but you don't have to do that. You really don't. And the grief hasn't stopped. Like I said, the amount of people in the generation, born between the years that I mentioned, the amount of people that have already decided to leave and that have already decided to die this year alone is jarring, to be honest. But as I say, it's understandable. And if you're facing these feelings, then know at the very least that I understand. Yeah, I understand. And there's nothing else for me to say about that. But there is a better option. And it is possible to live. You are bigger than what drives you to feel those things. That what drives you to think that maybe you're better off not being alive. I really do believe that not only are you not better off being dead, that you're better off being alive, but we are all better off with you being alive. We really need each other, and we need each other to be present. And all we need is for each other to be present. We don't need to be doing anything else. And I'm begging for us all to trust that. And trust that just our choice to be alive is going to provide enough feedback for our lives to know how to look after us. Miracles can happen. Miracles happen every day. And It may be too much to ask at this point if you're feeling this weariness. It may be too much to ask to believe in it, but just try. Just try once. Just try one wave of a miracle to understand how powerful these unseen forces are and how they are in this game with us, and they are in this game of collapse with us. They want the system to collapse as much as we do. They want the end of the suffering as much as we do. And they're there for us. Whoever they is, whoever you want to believe they is, they can be anyone. They can even be you, as is in you yourself. But you just have to trust that. At the very least, you have to trust that. And that, funny enough, that faith, that'll be the hardest part. After that, you will see for yourself. I swear on everything, you will see for yourself. But you have to trust and allow yourself to see it. You know what I mean? Let's face these energies. That's what I'll be pulling the cards for, just for facing it. I'm just going to take this time to take a breath. We're facing a fucking beast. But we're beasts too. Let's see what this beast has to say. The Empress, which immediately speaks on what I was trying to say just before shuffling this. You have to trust. You have to allow yourself to see that life is available to help you. Your life, your soul, whatever it is that you want to believe in, wants you to be this baby. And the universe, your life, wants you to suck from its titties. Your life wants to breastfeed you. Do you get it? This is your God. I was facing emotions today just before coming onto this live, feeling like I want my mom. I felt like I want a cuddle from my mom. But when I look at my mom, I can see she also wants a cuddle from her mom. and I remember her mom, my grandmother, and I remember the story of her and of our lineage so far. And I remember who she was a few months before she had passed on, and realized she also wanted her mother. We all want our mommy. But the surprise is that this reality is our mother, the great mother, you know? And it's not just Mother Earth, it's the whole of life. The whole of life is our mother. And the whole of life is trying to hold us and provide peace for us and bliss while we're still alive. While we're still alive. I can't emphasize this enough. You don't have to die to feel this. We are in the womb of the reality. We are in the womb of Mother Universe. I'm impartial to using words like that because it does sound very woo-woo and like, you know, oh, just feel the vibes. And I'm not really into that frequency, but I get it. But point is, the point is that this is difficult, and it's difficult to believe, and I understand. But please trust, please. And this is going to sound crazy, but this means quitting your job. If you are feeling exhausted and to your very limit, quit your job, resign, and let life show you miracles. Because the most wonderful coincidence could happen where you receive a call the very next day or the same day you decide to resign your job, offering you a new job. Do you get it? Those kind of miracles can happen. And just by the way, those kind of miracles are nothing compared to what can actually happen for you. You're out here busy worrying about a job, worrying about your next paycheck, when the universe wants you to dream. Your reality wants you to consider what would make you the happiest you could ever be in your life. And then your universe wants to give it to you. Your universe wants to love you. Your reality and your life, they want to love you. Hey, Pearl, how are you doing, my love? How are you doing? Yeah. Again, I say, I know how hard this is to believe. I know how hard this is to tap into and to feel. I've been, as I've repeated many times in these readings, I've been in a phase of stagnancy for years now. So that I'm always on the edge of I'm always on the edge of disbelief, of not at all believing that my life can be like this. But if I look back on everything that has happened over the years since the very day I decided to fully pursue my life and my truest fulfillment, I have been looked after in ways that I actually can't explain. I'm living a situation right now that I made this decision. I'm sorry, I need to do the math now. I made this decision about 6-7 years ago. That version of myself would never in a million, she wouldn't even understand what she wouldn't get it. She wouldn't get what I'm living right now. She genuinely wouldn't understand this. She wouldn't believe it. I'm thinking now, like, even the me in high school, she would, oh my God, if I told the high school version of myself that this is how well I'd be looked after, that I'd be able to live a life where I get to wake up every day and I do whatever I want. I can spend all the time in the world with children in my life who I care for so deeply. I get to be with my family every day and love them and spend all of my time just being myself, living myself, just having a luxe life and not worrying. She wouldn't believe it. She wouldn't understand it. I feel so confused by the fact that I don't have to worry. I don't understand it still. I've been told plenty of times by people who have literally promised me. They've given me their word and they've shown me, I will look after you. You don't have to do a single thing but worry about what will make you happy. They've told me this. They've showed me this. I'm still like, no, not really. I asked the universe. I literally asked and I said, give me this. The universe gave me this. And I'm still like, no, this is not happening. It's happening though. So I'm living testament of this. Okay, that this is possible. If you let life take care of you, life will take care of you and more. And more. And there's always more. And there's so much. I really need that life-changing opportunity right now. I'm so tired. Yes. And I totally understand that. And you know what? That's part of the reason why I'm here. Because I can feel that for all of us. For all of us. There's something new. There's something new about this exhaustion that we're all feeling collectively. But I think, like I said, the newness is in the fact that I feel like our worlds and our universe are being louder than ever, but also in the most subtle ways, so that it's like we can't hear them, that they want to take care of our lives, want to take care of us. I just really wonder what it looks like, because there are some of us that are struggling so hard to see beyond that exhaustion. And without realizing it, we are perpetuating our exhaustion because we're not making that. It's like, I can't sense this. This feels like a specific view. It's like I'm reading for a collective that's this thick, but there's this size of a collective who knows they need to make a decision that is very terrifying and that will put them in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of an abyss. They don't know where they land. They don't know what's going on. And it will be the most scariest thing. It will be the most scariest decision that they could make. The universe is inviting you to make that decision for that slither of a collective. You need to make that scary decision that you think is going to put you in a situation of a lack of safety or whatever. The universe is going to give you the exact opposite of that. You just have to trust. And then there's for the other collective who really just have to continue playing the waiting game, which I think I'm part of, where we've done everything that we need to do. And we've been following steady instruction. We've been good students, good daughters, good friends, good colleagues. We've been good members of each of our communities. And we're still in stagnancy and stillness, and we're not receiving the kind of feedback that we expected after we began the journey of putting ourselves focused on making the constant decision to stay good. I can't even say soon come, because what is time to God, right? But what I can say is this. I can't emphasize enough. Or it's just a constant invitation. It's just a constant invitation. So that if you do feel tired, don't be afraid to prioritize your rest. If you feel tired, like, I don't know, it's like, try to drop the expectations that people have of you that may put you in this position of exhaustion. Like, as a light example, you feel tired, you feel like you need to go to work and you still need to show up and do your best. Don't do your best. Don't do your best. And if you can, don't show up. Call in sick, or just don't show up. There's room, Even me saying that, don't show up, is a little bit crazy. I don't know what the specific circumstances are of each person that tunes into my readings, but like, the point is, you can relax, you can let go. In my case of motherhood, like, I feel when I'm in these states of exhaustion and even as I mentioned in this reading, when I feel like I need my mommy, and it triggers me into feeling like, oh, but I'm a mommy and I need to be a good mommy. And no. Those are the moments when I tune in to just let go, relax. I have to trust my child, not to raise himself per se, but to just trust that he's taken care of. I'm thankfully living in a house with plenty other people who can fill in for me when I'm feeling too tired or too sad or whatever, Really trust in your life. Trust in your life to be able to be there for you. You don't have to hold on so tightly to things and to ways of being and to, like, it's not that serious. It's not that. Life shouldn't be this intense. It shouldn't be this so exhaustingly intense that we're sacrificing our identities and ourselves and our time and da-da-da. Like, it shouldn't feel this way. And that's part of what I'm saying. That's part of what I'm talking on, is the danger of the system that we're in. That we're convinced that things like, I was having a conversation with my mother today about how it's apparently literally illegal to take Monday off. Like it's part of some act. I wasn't aware of that. That is ridiculous. And that's part of the tricks of the system. How is it possible that we are living in a system that has rules, that has a rule that we're not allowed to take Monday off? It's illegal to take Monday off. It's illegal to take long weekends for ourselves. Do you see how that programs you into believing you don't have a right to relax? It's against the law for you to take time to yourself to relax after a weekend? It's illegal for you to have a long weekend? They've made that against the law? Are you kidding? No, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. My sister's working with someone who who manages to cheat that every now and then consistently. Shout out to her. And she takes Mondays off anyway. She'll come up with some excuse. And good on her. And you should be doing the same. If it is that you can't go as far as quitting your job, resigning and just trusting that you'll find another job, then take Monday off, dude. Or take Friday. Do something. Take time for yourself. Own your life again. Because it's so ridiculous to live life as if you came here just so that you can give your free time to someone else or to some system. We deserve better. We deserve better. We deserve softer lives. This really is soft life era. And it's not just like, it's not soft life in the way that it's been written for women to be housewives or whatever. We're literally meant for the soft life. For the soft life. Abundance, womanhood, great prosperity, and the self-awareness that nourishes as well as receives. Bountiful fate, the weaving of destinies, one with another. Sensuality, fecundity, receptivity, the welcome harvest of love and joy, birthing of new projects, motherhood. Page of Rods. I believe that this is the challenging space we're in right now, the underworld place. I pulled this, I think, one reading ago, referencing that we are in the underworld, we are touring the underworld, but it is in order for us to come out with this understanding. These two cards together, because this card, the Page of Rods, speaks of the story of Persephone. I finally know how to pronounce it. That's apparently how you say it, Persephone. She came out, like I said, a few readings ago. And the story, in case you haven't looked up on it, is basically speaks of how Persephone, she was kidnapped. And what I understood of that story was that she was kidnapped. She was essentially duped by her father, just as we as society have been duped by the masculine. And there was no, she was blindfolded. It happened beyond her. It happened in a split second. There was no other way but to let the kidnapping happen. You know, she couldn't fight it. There was no time to resist. It happened, and before she knew it, she was in the underworld. And the only option for her was to trust in her mother, who literally welcomed the winter. She changed seasons in the name of saving her child. She changed seasons. Do you understand? This is what life can do for you. Life can change seasons. She brought on winter and she said, I will not bring back the flowers. I will not bring back any sense of warmth until my child is brought back to me. And Persephone had no choice but to wait. As far as I know, she was none the wiser. She was just doing her due diligence in the underworld, which I think, like I said, is where we are right now. We are just doing our due diligence. Due diligence. Excuse me. There is nothing else for us to do. There's nothing else for us to do but to keep up with our work. And we're doing it. We need to stay strong in our work. Keep going. I'm receiving now. Keep standing. Keep flowing with your God work. Keep praying. Keep meditating. Keep intending on staying centered. That is very important. Hi, Sayan. Sayan. I hope I'm saying your name right. This is an annoying phrase because it's very CEO or employer to employee, but I'm receiving the phrase of keep up the good work. But we are doing good work. We really are. It's brilliant work. It's hard, laborious work, but we are doing it and we're doing very well. A young person, often female, highly intuitive, but tends to be quite defensive, needs appreciation and understanding, but finds it impossible to ask for help. As I said, as I mentioned, with everything, please, with your exhaustion, with everything you may be feeling, the weariness, don't be afraid to ask for help. Even if not from a person in your surroundings, ask for help from your own life. I've said in previous readings, say to your own life, I am tired and I'm waiting for that miracle and I'm so exhausted and I'm at the end of my line. Help me. Life will help you. Life will help you. Life would love to help you. Often a loner, highly creative, she may still be looking for her authentic means of expression. I think that we've reached the end of our line in terms of suggesting creative outlets. I think that the weariness that we're facing right now cannot be drawn away or written away or even danced away at this point. I think for the most part, even most of us, we just feel like sleeping. It's like that's the only thing that can get us out of this. Just lots of a good coma, right? And that's why I started off this reading with what I'd said about suicidal ideations, is because this is also the kind of underworld touring that makes you feel like you'd be a lot blissful dead. You'd feel rested in death. But I promise you, that is not the best option. That is not the optimal choice here. I can't emphasize enough. I understand. I genuinely understand. But that is not the best option. That is not what you're here for. You didn't come here just to go again. There's something happening. There's something so exciting happening right now. And I hope that, I try with with everything that I do online, with my presence and with this channel, I really try to emphasize the fact that there's so much hope going on. It's fucked, but it's also amazing. And we have to trust that. We just have to trust it. And we have to continue trusting. Don't give up. I'm thinking now, that conversation with Dr. David Clements and Pram Gregory that I listened on today, they've had many, but the specific one, I'll link it in the description, that I saw today was brilliant. You should definitely, please, if ever you're feeling hopeless, right? This is the magic of being alive today. While there are so many distractions, there are also so many resources and so much access to light. These little light pods everywhere on the internet. That's the magic of the internet in general. I will link the conversation. Please tune into it before you think of giving up. Even if it's a slither and you smell the stench of giving up in the air, tune into that conversation, or into any other conversations or people's energies and frequencies that you know will motivate you, and stay up. Stay up. It doesn't have to be this way. Do you see? I think that this is what we are doing right now. This is where we're at right now. We are untying that rope. We are releasing programmings that we just don't need anymore. We don't need to think in scarcity mindset. We don't need to think in survival, even if it may be that we are facing situations of survival. We just don't need those thoughts anymore. We don't need to think that way. We don't need to live and lead a life where we're constantly worrying about we don't need to worry about survival and fear. We don't need to be doing any of that. We can stay purely dreaming, hoping, knowing that our dreams will be fulfilled. We can keep that frequency up. Do you see this? There's a line to the light. It's there. It's there. I believe that this is where we're at. We're working through the darkness. We're in the underworld. We are untying the ropes. We are untying the ropes. It's clear that it's happening. There's still some way of a rope to go. We still have some untangling to do, but we're doing it, right? We're doing it. And with this being the first card that fell out, there's always help. There's always a way. There's always assistance. Even in the ethereal sense, you know? I keep trying to make space for people who don't really believe in God or in like ethereal holy support. But at this point, man, if you don't believe in it, then I don't know. To each their own, I guess. You can also believe in yourself, which I think is very empowering. The reality is, though, that either way, there is light. It's happening. We are at the end of this. Okay, let me not say we're at the end. Because every time I speak myself on the soon come and the end and sooner than you know it and blah blah blah, I get really pissed off. Because I mean, I've seen other readers do this as well. I tune into their work as well, and they also use the same words. And then I sit and I live my life, and it's still like, well, when is it coming? You know, how long? How long? You said soon. I said soon. In my own reading, I said soon, but still nothing's happening. We can't forget that time means nothing to God. God doesn't work on these 24 hours or on these 12 months, 365 days. God knows nothing. God doesn't care for that. Our angels, our ancestors, our soul stories, they don't care for that. We are in the birth canal, though, right? We're in the birth canal. We're being pushed through the vaginas of our new life. And it takes a death, obviously. It takes a releasing. Like I described in the beginning of this reading, the unlodging, the pulling out all of the tentacles of the old world is deeply rooted inside us, deeply inside our wombs for generations and generations. We are fighting thoughts and processes that not even our grandparents could make it out of. And their grandparents and their grandparents, we are fighting a big, 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 big fight. A big beast with many teeth. Many sharp teeth. But we're doing it. We are doing it. It's happening. 2 major arcanas falling out. This is something beyond anything that we can do, really. Anytime, like I said in previous readings, anytime you feel like you need to push or do further than what your capacity is, know that you are doing it wrong. And I'm not one to do wrong or right, but that's the one thing I know for sure you'll be doing wrong. If you feel like you are overstretching yourself and overdoing, to each their own. But I still think you're wrong. I don't think that none of this life was meant for pushing and cranking and slaving and stretching and being so tired and, you know, bleeding and nada. I don't think you're supposed to bleed for things of this world. I think the only thing you're supposed to bleed for is your spirit and your soul and your truth, which will be reflected through true and connected things of this world. But I don't think you're supposed to bleed only of this world. That's why I encourage calling in sick for work even if you're not sick, girl. Like, come on. So, we are being made anew. We are walking through the fire. We are in the shadow of the valley of death. We are doing the collective dark night of the soul things right now. Big beast. Big teeth. We are bigger. Our teeth are bigger. Our teeth are sharper. Our teeth are stronger. I really hope that you don't forget this. Stripping the ego away to allow the birth of a new self, death of an old life or values, change either voluntary or enforced, necessary endings to let in the new, experiencing the sensual power of death, mortality, time passing, the inexorable approach of death, which is something that I also think on some level we are aware of while touring this underworld, and that's why we're all feeling this grief. We all know something's happening, even if we don't have the words for it, and even if we don't believe in the other of it, the otherness of this existence, that there are other parallel realms and happenings going on that we can't see. We all know on some level that there is a death happening. There is a new coming, a new life, a new world. I think it's great news that this card falls out with this one. I think that's brilliant. I think it's telling of what's to come. Maybe if this card fell out with like the Tower only, then it would be like, oh, okay, maybe some crazy shit's coming down. But with this, the card, the death card with the Empress, I'm getting that something beautiful is coming. That we're walking towards something beautiful. We are currently in the underworld. We are doing the darkness. We are doing our shadow work. Scorpio full moon as well is obviously, ties to this card as well. But what's coming is beautiful, and we're doing beautiful work. We're letting in more beauty. We're doing the work of letting in more beauty into our lives so that we can trust the world, trust our lives more, work with our lives more. Things can be beautiful and easy and fun. We deserve the love. We deserve the light. We deserve compensation. You understand? We deserve compensation. And not just for us and the suffering that we've gone through in this life, but for what our ancestors experienced and for what their ancestors experienced, We deserve what was taken from us. In the very first day we were born, from that very first day, we were led to believe absolute bullshit about our lives that's not true, about the way that life works, that's not true. The truth, the real truth, is being worked through us, and we don't have to do much but let it happen. I'm going to pull one more card, and then that'll be the end of my channeling. And that'll be what I hope is, is the third major arcana, the Hanged Man. Incredible. Period. The Fool. I love this. I love the work that we're doing. I love being alive with you. I'm so grateful that you're alive with me, that you chose to be here, that you chose to watch this video, that you chose to tune into this live, that you like choosing every day, It's big work. Big work. Following your intuition, even though it flies in the face of accepted wisdom, voluntary sacrifice and conventional wisdom to gain self-knowledge, rebirth and freedom, cutting ties with old programming, peace and resolution after trials, a feeling of oneness with the universe, healing of ancient wounds, putting yourself outside normal boundaries. Beautiful closing card. I don't think there's anything more for me to add. Only that I hope that you can trust yourself. I hope that if anything, this reading has given you the go-ahead to do that scary thing. To trust in your life and trust in your story. Trust that everything will work out no matter what you decide. So even if you don't decide to do that scary thing, all will be well. All will be well, but you are supported to do it anyway. All is well already. All is well already. Don't even hesitate. Don't hesitate for a second to ask for help, to reach out to me or to anyone who you feel could help you, who resonates with you, who you feel a kinship towards. Trust that there is help for you in every corner of your world, everywhere. And if there is no help where you seek it, then where you seeked it will fall away. Let it burn in the fire. Whatever isn't there for you, whatever doesn't help you in a way that you see or feel makes you safe, let it burn. Nothing else will remain but your strength, your safety, and your knowing that all is well, that you are safe, and that life loves you, because life does love you. Life loves you. It's just been waiting for you to love it back. And even if you don't love it back, life will still love you forever, regardless of anything. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your life. Yeah. I hope you can see life happen for you. It will. All is well.